Can I tell you one more story? I had one yesterday.
Oh, okay. Now,
Okay.
story?
Huh?
Something that happened yesterday?
Yeah, yeah. Something
Oh,
happened. Okay, so I had a client yesterday, a young lady. I went to her place to meet her, like to help her with wireless. A beautiful young girl, like she was 26, pretty, just pretty. As soon as I walked into her apartment, I saw kids everywhere. Like it was so many, I couldn't count because they kept moving, and I was trying to count. Like, and I was thinking, are these all your kids? 'Cause I was thinking you're young. Like, why do y'all have all these kids? I'm sorry, I don't want to have 100 kids, even if I had a husband. But why do y'all have all these kids? But anyway, I was working with her and I was trying to count the kids 'cause I couldn't keep up because there was so many of them, Steve, and it was moving around in the living room because there wasn't any furniture in the living room because she had just moved in. She was a young girl, so I was working with her, and I was dying to know, like, is these all the same baby daddies? So I was getting conversation started with her, and as she was talking, she was telling me about how one particular kid, his daddy is really good, and this one's daddy is really good, and I was thinking, so yeah, they answered my question. So we got 50 baby daddies. So we got three baby daddies, and she was telling me
how
about
many
how
kids actually were there?
it was four. But it
Okay.
was they were moving around because it was all little. They were all from a baby to probably 6 years old. So basically back to back. I don't understand that we're in 2026. It's so much birth control out there. Having babies, I don't understand why anybody would want to have babies back to back or babies period. But teach some.
Even if you mean babies, period.
This I mean, like in this climate right now, I wouldn't want to be tied down to babies and no husband. Even if I had a husband, I wouldn't want 50 kids. Because at the end of the day, who always is the one that ends up taking care of them and the one that's always responsible for everything?
Well, often the women are, they look forward to taking care of the child, right?
Yeah, yeah, they're
Often
taken
the
care
women,
of by a man, a
but
husband.
I'll say this. Well, no, first off, let's not go with
Mhm.
that narrative, friend. There are plenty of
Yeah, okay.
strong will in you from your family. You
Yeah,
know better. In
yeah.
fact,
Hmm.
you know, there are many very strong willed and capable women today who don't look for men to do anything for them. They can do all for themselves, they can do all for their children, and still go out and have fun and enjoy life, right?
Yeah.
So don't do that.
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure. It's yeah. So let me continue.
but you know, many of them now do it. People in that situation, current generation, do it for the check. They do it for the government benefits. Oh, I'm gonna have all these children, and each one is gonna multiply my benefits that much more. It's a
And
terrible
that's
mindset.
and that's true. But what about that makes sense? You get now. I got 50
I just think
babies.
it makes sense.
No,
No,
I
it
know.
doesn't.
I'm agreeing with what you're saying. I'm just saying to
It doesn't
us
make
saying
sense.
that. What about that makes sense?
Makes sense to
So
them,
so
but
let me go. So let me keep going to the story. So she kind of let it be known it was about three daddies.
mm,
The youngest child was a little girl, and she said she was with that guy for 2 years on and off. And when she got with him, he had a girl pregnant. Where do the red flags be? Like, and I just be so upset with these ladies. I'm not even mad with the men anymore. And I told her to her face, I'm more mad with y'all because y'all let this stuff happen. It takes two to tango, but y'all, it's y'all body. Y'all the ones
but
gonna
you
be stuck.
still have, but you still have resentment towards those men too, right?
I'm kind of getting over them because I'm more mad at the lady because we wouldn't have all
Sure.
these children.
Get over them, but you still have resentment towards those men.
Yeah, a little, not much. I'm getting to where
Don't
getting
get
to
cancer, friend. You gotta be clear.
Well, I'm getting to where I give them a pass because the women you let them do this.
They don't
It's
get a
your body.
pass. They don't get a pass. The women are still terrible in their own right for their decisions, but those men are doing these things intentionally. Like they already know. And then many of them are like, "Oh, I give her a baby. She's gonna stay around. She's gonna give me money. I'm gonna have a place to live." So on and so forth. These deadbeat trash guys. And then the women, I don't know. I guess they often think that. I mean, you hear the stories. Oh, if I get him pregnant, he's gonna stay with me. Girl, are you slow? He
Oh,
has several other women pregnant, and he's with you. So what makes you think you're any better? But that's also like narcissistic behavior too. Like, oh, I'm better than X Y Z, so he's gonna stay with me because I'm
no,
better
he
than
gonna
him. I don't
he gonna do this.
know.
He gonna do the
Can you
same way.
rationalize that? You can't rationalize everything.
No, no. So let me continue.
Mm.
So so with the last baby daddy, whatever, he has a he she found out recently that he is still taking and sleeping with the last baby mama because they have a connection, they have a child. So she just found that out. So her and her boyfriend were going to like a skate place. They love to skate, and he invited the baby mama. So she asked him, "You're not gonna embarrass me or anything at this skate place, like being all in her face and being with her." And he was like, "Well, you don't gotta come." So so that turned into an argument. And she said they had an argument and he broke her TV, broke her. I stopped her. I said, first of all, where does he stay? And she said he stayed with his mom in the garage. And I said, I said, first of all, never get with anybody who don't have more than you got or who don't have anything because they don't mind taking you down to that level. And she said, yeah, he lives with his mom in the garage. He broke her TV. He snatched her wig off her head. So now he's physical. He snatched her wig off her head, and like clearly they
Uh,
were fighting. And
that's
I
so
and I and I felt some type of way. And then she said, my mom had to break it up. And I said, hold up, pause. He fought you in front of your mom, Steven. What type of respect you think he got for you? If he'll fight you in front of his mom,
how
girl,
old are they?
26, 25.
That I don't know. I tend to too often judge things based on how I would react in a scenario. Even when I was that young, I was not that stupid.
No, that's why I'm saying that's what I'm trying to get at. So the neighbor called the police because they heard all this chaos going on. They called the police. The police came on the scene, and she filed charge. He left before the police got there. She filed charges, and the next day, her landlord came to her apartment and said, You just moved in here. You got one more incident, and you will be evicted." I said, "He is gonna get you evicted, girl. Like a person.
Mm.
They always say a person that don't have nothing, no mind, bring you
Tell
down
them
to
up.
their level."
No.
And I said, "You got four kids you got to take care of." I said, "He is going to have you evicted. You don't." I said, "You need to leave him alone completely." Because I said, "I know he'll be back here Monday." She's like, "No, I'm done." Girl, please. I said, "He'll be here Monday. He going to have you evicted." And not to mention, when he left, he got mad because the lights at her apartment was in his name. So he turned the lights off. So that means
With
you
her
turn the
four
lights.
kids there?
Yeah, he turned the lights off on her and her four children. And one of the children are his. And she had to call one of her other baby daddies to get lights in his name. This all information I was getting while I was there visiting. And I was just thinking,
Oh, and she just felt comfortable sharing that. Did she just didn't feel any sense of shame?
no, I told you, everybody share with me. It's something about me that's just so inviting.
What it is. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
concerning. They do you, why
And I was giving her a real conversation. I was saying,
was
"You
she
gonna be back
getting
with it Monday."
phone? Was she
Hmm.
getting her what was she getting? What was she getting? What were you doing for her?
Okay, well, she let me know that she was struggling because she told me several times that her baby daddies have to pay the rent sometime to help her pay the rent and help her pay certain bills. So she felt like she needed the new 17 Pro Max. So I was helping her get the new 17 Pro Max.
And she paid and her phone line is in her name.
Yeah. The phone she has currently, was a nice. I think it was a 15 Pro Max, paid off. But getting a 17 Pro Max, financing a 17 Pro Max, just sound like the reward that I need.
No, it
Okay.
does.
Okay.
No.
It didn't happen because fraud stopped us because fraud kept stopping us saying something went right. So when I was done, I said, "What's going on?" Because
Gosh.
fraud stopped us twice, and she said, "Oh, maybe because I need to use my other social."
Okay. Hmm.
Do you have two socials?
A real one. No, I don't. I'm
So
one person.
I said, "Why didn't you tell me that you weren't using your real social?" I said, "We need to use your real social." I said, I can get past any type of, you owe a bill or something. I can get past that." So we decided to use her real social, and I guess after we had ran the credit on the horrible social, it still stopped it. Like, no, y'all doing too much.
Mm.
So she didn't get that phone. And she told me,
At 17, did she say she from what I understand, going from I think I went from no, I went from the 14 to the 17.
yeah, I
From
went from the 13 to the 17.
there's
But
no
I,
major difference.
but I don't, yeah, and I don't have four children crawling over the floor.
No, no, I'm just saying I don't see there's no major difference.
It's
Uh,
It's not like I
And
told you.
I don't have the problem with paying my bills.
My clients make horrible decisions. They make horrible decisions. Yeah, she has a
Yeah.
15 Pro Max paid off, and you ready to dump it and get into a
Mm.
higher bill just because you want a newer phone. You don't even have furniture in your apartment yet because we stood up the whole time. I finally got tired. I just sat on the carpet. But the new 17 Pro Max was the way to go.
Yeah, people. Mm.
I try. I be trying to.
You know how old people be on the phone, the women, they're like,
Yeah. Yeah.
shut up. Mm, get out of here. Yeah, that's crazy to me. I'm so happy that I was not raised to function that way.
Yeah, yeah, me too. And she had four beautiful little kids. She said two of them, one stays with his grandmother, one stays with his father. And I hate stuff like that. I hate separation too. I hate that. She said I just need a break. And they took them from me. So I mean, I gave them to them, but so I said, okay, well, I understand because I know that's got to be stressful for kids. So now you just got two because the other two they stay with they were she had them that weekend, but they stayed with that one stayed with the grandmother, one stayed with the father, and I was like,
Yeah,
okay.
four kids with no help, I would
Yeah,
say.
oh yeah. That's why I wouldn't get in that
Mm,
situation. One kid with no help would be a nightmare. That's why I don't understand why they
yeah.
don't. I have relatives that had a child at a young age, and it was like that's all they need to know, and they never made that mistake again. They didn't have another child until they were super in adulthood where they could take care of that child, or never had
Yeah,
one. Period. Why do you keep on producing another one and another one and another one? And
yeah, that's
I've asked so many young girls like, why don't you guys? Because I just say what it is. I said, why don't y'all get on birth control? And everybody has all these excuses about this particular birth control gives me cancer. This one gives me blood clots. This one makes me uncomfortable. This one makes me fat. This one makes me bloated. Okay, it's 1,000 birth controls. Why don't y'all find one that don't make you fat, bloated, and cancer?
I can't say. Okay. Condoms, maybe?
Yeah, but they don't want
Not
they
one
don't.
hundred percent, but it's close to it. So
Because I just don't understand having a child for every single person. Everybody. Just basically have a child for everybody. Four dudes over here, and all four of them, I got a baby for each one of them.
yeah,
Can
have
you
four different
imagine?
lineages. Okay, yeah, that's terrible. I, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't do any such thing. And even if I were heterosexual, I would not do such things. I wouldn't go around having babies with multiple people. It's crazy.
Yeah, and I don't. And the dudes, they think it's great just to have said, "Oh, that's one of my baby mamas." I don't know who
And
raised
then
these
now it's just like,
kids.
it's hard to pay for yourself. Even if you have a great job, a great career, making good money, six
Who you
figures,
tell? Okay,
it's
who you tell? Okay,
still kind of, depending on your lifestyle, it's still fairly difficult to do any and everything you want to do, get any
that's
and
what.
everything you want to get.
That's what.
So having to split that between you and multiple children, and then the baby mamas asking for things, and then them putting you on
Child
what is it,
support.
a child support. It's like, what can you do now? You can't. Anyway,
And I've
over.
seen some of those chicks where child support is deducted, and I'm like, oh my god, you can't even live, can't even function.
I couldn't imagine having thousands of dollars taken out of my check
Yeah,
every
and a lot of them quit their jobs because they just like I'd rather not work or if I gotta pay all this in child support. But how about not get
time.
yourself in that situation? Like how about like you said, wrap it up. Why do you want kids by everybody? And then it always be the most horrible girl on earth.
But you know
The
what I
one
hear
that
often isn't that they want the kids. It's just they don't want to prevent from having them. And not to say that they don't want to prevent from having them per se. They just don't want to do the things that will prevent them from having it. It doesn't make sense. Like people are just stupid.
oh god.
That's what it boils down to. People are just stupid. Not even ignorant because you do know better. They're just stupid.
I'm so